Good afternoon. So today we are going to learn another application of spectrophotometry, that is estimation of manganese and chromium in steel. So before going to this, what is the composition of steel? Steel is it is an alloy metal which is allied or coupled with iron and less than 1% of carbon. Along with it may contain some amount of chromium, manganese, as well as nickel, other elements also. So, the incorporation of this chromium and manganese impart the strength to steel. Okay, so that means the steel in steel we may find a trace amount of manganese as well as a chromium in steel alloy. Okay, so how we estimate the amount of manganese and chromium in steel? So first we need to convert this, whenever we dissolve the steel in dilute nitric acid, this manganese and chromium initially converted into the Mn um, into the corresponding ions, and those ions later they will be oxidized to Cr plus 6 and manganese plus 7. So these ions may impart color to the solution by using absorbance at particular lambda maximum. We will calculate, identify the absorbance as well as epsilon. Now, that is absorption molar coefficient. With the help of absorption and molar coefficient, we can find the concentration of manganese as well as chromium, or we can estimate the amount of manganese and chromium in given steel. Okay, so this is our uh, purpose of this experiment. So as we know that iron is it is a steel is a alloy of iron. So iron present in major constituent, present as a major constituent, it may be coined with carbon along with chromium and manganese. This chromium and manganese may impart the strength to steel. Okay, so these oxidize to dichrome, and so how we can estimate? We cannot estimate the manganese and chromium in steel. So first it should be converted into these manganese and chromium are converted into permanganate and dichromate ions respectively. So the spectra of these ions overlaps in certain extent. So okay. Next explanation. So what we do in this experiment. So objectives. So how? So first principle we explain and carry out absorbance measurements using spectrophotometer and draws its UV spectrum. Determine the wavelength of maximum absorption, that is lambda max. That is lambda max. Lambda max. Computing the absorption coefficient, molar coefficient values. With the help of these two, we can estimate the or we can calculate the concentration of chromium and manganese in the mixture. Okay, so this is our objectives. Let's discuss the principle. So first, what happens when we dissolve the Li, steel Li containing chromium and manganese? So first, what happens? These two be converted. These two elements are converted into Cr plus 3 and Mn plus 2 ions respectively. So for the determination, we cannot use these ions for determination. So later, what we do, we oxidize this by using potassium persulfate and potassium periodate into the Cr plus 6 and Mn plus 2. So these ions may impart the color. So Cr plus 6 may impart orange red color solution, and the dichromate shows, and and it shows the maximum absorbance at 440 nanometers, while the Mn plus 7 ions may impart pink color to the permanganate solution, and the lambda maximum is, so that means at 445 nanometers, these pink color solution may have or show the maximum absorbance. So that's why the 440 and 445 are the considered as a lambda maximum values for the potassium dichromate and potassium permanganate respectively. And if you run this spectra by using this solution at particular lambda maximum, and we may get this type of spectrum or graph. So here we can find that these two curves are overlapped on each other. So but here see here So this is the lambda maximum of chromium Cr plus 6, that is occurs around 440 nanometers, and this is the lambda maximum of manganese plus 7 ion, that is around 545. Okay, so by means of this, now so generally we identify this by scan. Generally, we use a specific term for this to identify the maximum absorption of or lambda maximum, the wavelength at which maximum absorption occurs, that is known as lambda maximum. So for to identify the lambda maximum, so we use a particular term, that is scan. So we run the scan. So by with the help of the scan, we can identify the lambda maximum, and then we identify the absorption at this wavelengths. So that means what we do, we select the filter of this spectrophotometer corresponding 440 nanometers and for 55 nanometers. Or in other words, we can say we can measure the absorbance of at 440 nanometers and 545 nanometers respectively for dichromate and permanganate ions. Next, let's see the principle. So absorption at 440 nanometers. So we can calculate the absorption by means of molar absorption and the concentration. So here see the absorption of here in this first experiment, here see. So here we identified the lambda maximum of individual solution. Okay, that means this is the lambda maximum of chromium ion, and this is the lambda maximum of Mn plus manganese ion. Okay, so the absorption at 440 nanometers is equal to epsilon, that is molar coefficient of chromium, that is at 440 nanometers, and into the concentration plus lambda maximum. So that means here see, here we are using manganese. So it indicates what? Some light or light may absorb. This Mn plus 7 may show the absorption at 545 nanometers as well as 440 nanometers. So this manganese Mn plus 7 ions can show the absorbance maximum at 545 as well as it also shows some absorbance at 440 nanometers. Accordingly, the chromium Cr plus shows the maximum absorbance at 440 nanometers and shows the minimum or some absorption at 545. So that means the each ion may show the absorption at 440 as well as 545. Okay, so got it. So at 440, those two, the chromium Cr plus 6 as well as Mn plus 7, both will show the absorption. And at 545 nanometers, this chromium as well as manganese both will show the absorbance. So by using these values, we can identify the absorbance. And next, so here that is descriptive. And next, from this equation, so this equation actually it should be considered as one or equation two. So with the help of these two equations, we can find the concentration of chromium as chromate, or at the same time, this is MnO4 minus, actually KMnO4, okay, for manganate ion. So by means of this formulas, okay. Next. Thus, the concentration of two ions can be obtained from the absorbance measurements at 440 and 545 nanometers. If we know the molar coefficient for the both ions at the wavelengths, these values of the molar coefficient are obtained from the absorbance measurements of pure solution of two substances at designated wavelengths. So that means to identify the concentration of chromium and manganese, so first we need to identify the or we need to find the molar coefficient, that is epsilon, of individual pure, or you can say pure solution. That means here our Li, if you convert the what we do, so generally we prepare a solution of steel, so that may contain chromium as well as manganese. So that means that solution may contain chromate as well as manganese. So mixture of solution. So that in that mixture of solution, what happens? The chromium Cr plus 6 may show the absorbance at 440 nanometers as well as 545. At the same time, Mn plus 7 also shows the some absorbance at 440 and the maximum absorbance at 545 nanometers. So, but here, see, here the important thing is, so we need to find the molar absorption coefficient at 440 nanometers and 545 nanometers. of two ions. Okay, so that is important. So to that, what we need first, we need to use a pure single solution. That means potassium dichromate solution and manganese potassium permanganate solution. By using these two pure solutions, we need to find the absorbance at 440 as well as 545. Thereby we can find the molar coefficient of potassium dichromate at 440 as well as 545. At the same time, by using KMnO4 solution, we can find the molar coefficient of KMnO4 at 440 and 545. So that means, so we need to run the experiment by using individual as well as mixture of solutions. So in that experiment, we need to find the absorbance at 440 as well as 545 nanometers. So that is the important point. Okay. So solutions, how, what solutions we required and what are the stock solutions? Okay, so 0.1 m sulfuric acid solution and potassium dichromate. So actually what happens, why we should use this sulfuric acid and oxalic acid? So generally oxalic acid is a standard primary standard solution and potassium dichromate is a secondary standard solution. By standardizing this potassium dichromate solution with oxalic acid, we can identify the concentration of potassium dichromate solution. Okay, for that purpose we use oxalic acid. And what is the use of sulfuric acid? So generally we are executing this experiment in acidic medium. Why? Because see, so this Mn plus 3 and Cr plus 2 ions to be converted into Mn plus 7 and Cr plus 6. Those should be oxidized with potassium periodide as well as potassium persulfate. Okay, so in that, so that's why we require acidic medium. So to maintain that acidic medium, here we are using sulfuric acid. So 1 m of sulfuric acid, potassium dichromate. So this is stock solution. The concentration of that solution is 0.002 m. And how we can prepare? So that is the procedure. So first, what we need to do? So we need to weigh accurately this much of potassium dichromate solution, and then transfer into the 250 ml polymetric flask, adding sufficient amount of 1 ml of sulfuric acid to dissolve it. So once the compound is dissolved, then the solution is made up to the mark with again using sulfuric acid, and this is oxalic acid. Next, the potassium permanganate, that is potassium first one is 1 m sulfuric acid, then 0.002 m potassium dichromate, and third one is oxalic acid, that is concentration what is 0.005, and here potassium permanganate of concentration of 0.002 m in sulfuric acid. Okay, so how we do? This is the procedure. And next procedure. So in that our experimental part, we need to be we need to do three things. First one is the determination of molar coefficient of dichromate as well as permanganate at 440 as well as 545 nanometers. So thereby we can calculate what? This one. So to calculate this one, we need to run this experiment. Okay, using pure potassium dichromate as well as potassium permanganate solutions. And these absorbance should be noted down or find at 440 nanometers as well as 545 nanometers. This is the first step. So see here, first what we need to do, we need to prepare these two from 0.002 stock solution, we need to prepare two more standard solutions of concentration 0.0004, 0.008. So how this is, this will explain how we can prepare this one. So okay, this will explain how we can prepare these two how we can prepare these two solutions. Okay, next what we do, we measure the absorbance by using spectrophotometer at 440 nanometers and for 555 nanometers. First we use stock solution, then followed by this is potassium dichromate solution and potassium permanganate. So here we are separately we are preparing three solutions. One is stock solution of 0.002 m potassium dichromate along with 0.004 m and 0.008 m, that is potassium dichromate. And here this is potassium permanganate. Again, stock solution concentration is same, and we are preparing two more standard solution, and this concentration also same. So as a whole, we right now we have 6 solutions. 3 belongs to potassium dichromate, 3 belongs to potassium permanganate. And next, what we do, we run the experiment. By this experiment, what we do, we find the absorbance values of these 6 samples at 440 as well as 545 nanometers. Okay, and then what we do, we noted down the readings like this. Okay, so this is the concentration of 0.002. This is also, and this is absorbance. So for this table, first of what, determination of molar absorption coefficient of potassium dichromate at 440 as well as 545 nanometer. This is first. Here how much concentration, 0.002, that is star, and here we find the absorption. And next, by applying Beers-Lambert law, what is Beers-Lambert law? Absorption A is equal to epsilon C into L. Here L is the what? The path length. Path length is always maintained constant, so that's why. So A is equal, we can take it as A is equal to epsilon C, epsilon C. So epsilon is equal to what happens? C by absorbance. A is equal to epsilon C. So we need to send this C to left hand side, thereby A by C, that equals to epsilon. So epsilon is equal absorption at 440 nanometers by concentration, and this is absorption at 545 nanometers, and epsilon at 545 nanometers. How we got absorption at 545 nanometers by the concentration of solution. So here these three are the different solutions. This is stock solution 0.002, and this is this is 4 point, we can say 4 into 10 to the power of minus 4. This is 8 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Here we note down the readings by experiment. After doing the experiment, what we do, we substitute those values in this formula, so thereby we can get what, lambda max epsilon at 440 nanometers. And then what we do, we select the filter at 445, and then again we use same solutions again at where we are measuring the absorbance at different wavelength. Here the wavelength is 440 and here the wavelength is 445. Again, we substitute these values in this formula to get what, molar coefficient value at 545 nanometers of potassium dichromate. Same manner we find the molar absorption coefficient of KMnO4 at 440 and 545. So this is one first step. So our procedure involves how many steps? First step is 3 steps. First step is calculation of determination of molar absorption coefficient of KMnO4 as well as potassium dichromate at 440 and 545 nanometers. So that is the first step. Next, second step. After identifying or determining the molar absorption coefficient of potassium dichromate and KMnO4 at 440 and 545 nanometers, next what we want to do, we want to establishing the additivity of absorbance value of dichromate and potassium dichromate. So additivity means what? Here we class verify. So whatever values by here the values are molar coefficient we obtained by using single solution or pure solution. Next, in second step, what we do, we use a mixture. So that mixture means that mixture may contain potassium dichromate solution as well as potassium permanganate solution. Then again we place that mixture of solution at 440 nanometers and 545 nanometers, and thereby we measure the absorbance. Okay, so by using that, whatever absorbance we got or we obtain, so that will be matched with substituting those values in this formula, in this formula, and then we compare. Okay, so here what we do, so first this is observed by experiment and this is calculated. How we calculated? Just by substituting the values in equation 3.1 and equation 3.2. Okay, so this is equation 3.1, this is equation 3. This is equation 3.1. So thereby we can measure the absorbance of mixture at 440 nanometers and absorption of the mixture at 445 nanometers. These values, whatever the theoretical values obtained, those will be compared with whom? These observed values. So that's why this is what? Additivity of absorbance. So this is known as additivity of absorbance. Okay, so for that additivity of absorbance, here what we do, we take mixture of solutions. So how? To different concentrated solutions we use here. One is 0.008, that means 8 into 10 to the power of minus 1 potassium dichromate, and 4 into 10 to the power of minus 1 potassium permanganate solution. And then by using these two solutions, we prepare different concentrated, so different proportion of solution or different series of solution. These are the standards. How? The first solution may contain only 50% of potassium dichromate as well as 1 m. Why? Because this experiment should be carried out under acidic medium, and this is the what, the experiment value, what is absorbance, what is obtained, and then this is calculated. How we can get this calculated? By substituting this value at equation 3.1, and then we select the filter at 445 again. Then by at 445 again, whatever reading we obtained, that is known as observed, and this will be get obtained by substituting the values in formula 2 3.2. Okay, so by that manner, we calculate observed as well as calculated values of observance at 440 nanometers and 540 nanometers, 545 nanometers of a standard mixture of solutions. This mixture of solutions has a different concentration or different proportion of potassium dichromate and KMnO4. So first of all, we need to prepare these six type of solutions. This six type of solution, along with here seventh one is unknown. We take, if you have unknown, so we take unknown solution. Okay, so by means of this various variable volumes, we prepare sum of 51 volume of 51 milliliters of solution, and that will be used for experiment. Okay, so by this manner, what we do, we uh, observe, we establish the additive absorbance value of potassium dichromate and potassium permanganate. And last one is a third step. So that is very, very easy. So whatever values so far obtained, those will be substituted in this formula in 3.3 and 3.4 here. So actually, I supposed to quote this one as 3.3 and this one as 3.4. So whatever values obtained in step 1 and step 2, those will be substituted in this formula. So thereby we can get the concentration. So concentration means estimation, amount of potassium dichromate and amount of potassium permanganate. So with the help of that concentration, we can estimate the amount of, so it is Cr, not Ce, it is chromium, Cr, make it correction. This one is Cr, chromium, not cesium. Okay, this is capital M, not small m, capital M. Okay, so third step is the determination of concentration of dichromate and potassium permanganate ions in the mixture. Okay, so first we need to, what we need to do, so we measure the absorbance values given the sample taken in the cuvette path length of using 1 sulfuric acid. So here see, samples. So samples means unknown. Up to now we executed what? Known concentrated. So this is unknown. So now we are measuring what? The absorbance of unknown uh, sample. Unknown means nothing but sample at 440 nanometers and 545 nanometers. Then what we do? We substitute those values in this formula. So thereby we can find the concentration of potassium dichromate. So epsilon, these are the constant values. So already these epsilon values already we find in step 1. These epsilon manganese at 545, epsilon manganese at 440, and epsilon chromium at 545, epsilon chromium at where 440. So these are already obtained from step 1. Okay, so the values which these epsilon values obtained from step 1 will be substituted in this formula along with these values, along with these values of whom sample. So by means of this formula, we can find the concentration of given unknown or sample solution potassium dichromate as well as potassium permanganate. Okay. So with the help of these values, by substituting the molarity formula, molarity is equal to what? We know that M is equal to weight of solute by molecular weight of solute into 1000 by volume in milliliters. So in that formula we substitute, and thereby we can get the W value. Okay, of that is weight of chromium and weight of manganese, and these weights are further converted into the percentage. Okay, so this is the experiment, one of the application of our spectrophotometry. For what? Generally we execute this for estimating amount of manganese as well as chromium in steel. Okay, okay, I'm repeating, I'm revising this. So as we know that steel is a alloy of iron. Iron is the major constant. It may contain along with iron, this steel may contain some amount of carbon and minute amount of chromium as well as manganese. This chromium and manganese impart this carbon, chromium and manganese impart the strength, okay, to steel. So it is nothing but steel is nothing but a alloy of iron, carbon, chromium, and manganese. Sometimes it may also present nickel. So in that steel, what we do, what we want to do, we want to estimate the amount of manganese or amount of chromium. So these elements cannot be directly estimated. Initially, what happens first, the steel may be dissolved, you dissolved in nitric acid, concentrated nitric acid. When it is dissolved in concentrated nitric acid, this chromium and manganese are converted into Mn. Here, see, Mn plus 2 and Cr plus 3. Cr plus 3 and Mn plus 2. Later, this will be oxidized by using uh, potassium periodide and potassium persulfate. So thereby these may converted into Cr plus 6 and Mn plus 7 oxidized form. So that is the first step. Okay. Whatever steel we are using to estimate the chromium and manganese, so that should be uh, in that chromium and manganese should be converted into the Cr plus 6 and Mn plus 7. So thereby only we can identify the concentration. So objective. So what steps are involved here? So first the principle, explain the principle and carry out the observance measurement and determine the wavelength of maximum absorptions and calculate the concentration. Okay. And next, this is the principle, how we do this experiment. So as I told you, so first we need to dissolve the steel containing chromium and manganese. First what we do, we dissolve in nitric acid. So when we dissolve the steel in nitric acid, what happens, the elemental chromium and manganese are converted into Cr plus 3 and Mn plus 2 ion. So further these are oxidized by using potassium persulfate and potassium periodide. So thereby we can get Cr plus 6, so that impart a orange red color, and Mn plus 7 that impart pink color, red pink color. And these colors show the maximum absorbance at 440 nanometers. Which one? This orange red color show the maximum absorbance at 440 nanometers. So this is the graph experimentally obtained. This is the graph, and this is the maximum absorption of MnO4 minus at 545 nanometers. At the same time, here we need to notice one point, that this manganese shows the maximum absorption at 545 nanometers and also shows the absorption at 440 nanometers also. Likewise, vice versa, this chromium shows the maximum absorbance at 440 nanometers as well as it shows the some absorbance at 545 nanometers. Okay. So that means these two ions shows the absorptions at 440 as well as 545 nanometers. But lambda maximum chromium may show the 440 maximum absorbance at 440 nanometers, and Mn plus 7 or KMnO4 or permanganate ion shows the maximum absorbance at 545 nanometers. And this is the calculation of theoretical calculation of absorbance at 440 nanometers and 540 nanometers by a mixture of solution. Okay. So why? Because why I'm saying mixture of solution? Why? Because at 440 nanometers, the chromium as well as manganese both will show the absorbance, and 545 nanometers, this chromium as well as manganese both shows the absorbance. So by substitute by this formula, by 3.1 and 3.2, we can calculate the theoretical absorbance at 545 nanometers as well as 440 nanometers. So that will be used in step 2. It will done in step 2. In step 3, what we do? So by using these equations, we find the concentration of unknown KMnO4 solution. That means sample solution, concentration of KMnO4 present in sample solution, and concentration of potassium dichromate present in sample solution by using this formula. Okay, let's see the principle. So just now I told you just now I told you both ions shows the absorbance at 440 as well as 540 nanometers. So first we need to find the molar absorption coefficient for the both ions at individual these values in pure form as well as in mixture form. So thereby we can substitute those values in equation 3.1, 3.2 after that. by substituting these two values in these two equations, we can find the concentration of KMnO4 as well as potassium dichromate in sample solution. Okay. So standard solution. So solutions. So in this principle, so we require these solutions. One is 1 m sulfuric acid, potassium dichromate of this solution, oxalic acid of this much concentrated, and potassium permanganate of this much concentration. And this is how we prepare and how we um, standardize potassium dichromate as well as potassium permanganate. And then the procedure. So this our procedure involves three steps. So first step is determination of molar absorption coefficient of dichromate and permanganate individually at 440 nanometers as well as 545 nanometers. So how to run? This is the procedure how to run this experiment, and this is tabular form. So by running this experiment, we note down the absorbance of potassium dichromate of 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3 concentration, 4 into 10 to the power of minus 4, and 8 into 10 to the power of minus 4 concentration. With the help of those concentration and absorbance, we verify the Beers-Lambert law. According to Beers-Lambert law, absorption A is equal to epsilon into C into L, where L is the constant. So by using this formula, we can find the molar absorption coefficient, at 440 nanometers as well as 545 nanometers of potassium dichromate as well as potassium permanganate. So this is step 1. Next step 2, what? Establishing the additivity. So that means whatever experimental value we obtained, we are matching with the calculated value, and so that means we are matching the experiment value with the theoretical value. Okay, for what? Additivity. Okay, so we additivity. Next, so how we can do those? So do this so by using these various concentrated or various proportion of KMnO4 and potassium dichromate solutions, and this is observed, that means experimental value, and this is calculated value. This calculated value will be obtained from 3.1 and 3.2 respectively. And last step is determination of concentration of potassium dichromate and potassium permanganate ions in the mixture. So here what we do, here we use, now we use sample solution. Up to now we have used standard solutions. Okay, we have used standard solutions, but now we use what? Sample solution. And concentration of potassium dichromate in the mixture by using this 3.3 and 3.4 last formulas. Okay, and this is the determination of concentration of permanganate and mixture, and this is the table. So how we do so? So just we take the sample solution and we take few in the sample solution, we prepare out sample solution and then transfer it to the cuvette, and that cuvette is placed at in the cuvette holder, and we select the filter as 440 nanometers. Then we calculate the absorbance, whatever absorbance we found, we note down here, and we repeat the same experiment at 545 nanometers. Whatever value we obtained, that will be calculated here. And already by step 1, in step 1 we have calculated epsilon maximum of KMnO4 as well as potassium dichromate at 440 and 545 nanometers. So those values will be substituted in this formula along with these values. So thereby we can get the concentration of potassium dichromate as well as KMnO4 in sample solution. So please make it correction. This is not a C, this is R, and this is capital N. Okay. So this is application of spectrophotometer. So spectrophotometer for what? Identification, estimation of chromium and manganese present in steel. I hope you understood. Thank you.